This is the Laughlin Town Advisory Board, Laughlin Regional Government Center, 101 Civic Way, Laughlin, Nevada, 89029. Today is April 14th, 2026. Time is 1:30. Items on the agenda may be taken out of order. The board may combine two or more agenda items for consideration. The board may remove an item from the agenda or delay discussion relating to an item at any time. All planning and zoning matters heard at this meeting are forwarded to the Board of County Commissioners, Zoning Commission, BCC, or the Clark County Planning Commission, PC, for final action. Please turn off or mute all cell phones and other electronic devices. Please take all private conversations outside the room. With a 48-hour advance request, a sign language interpreter or other reasonable efforts to assist and accommodate persons with physical disabilities may be made available by calling 702-455-3530, TDD at 702-385-7486, or Relay Nevada toll-free at 1-800-326-6868. Supporting material provided to the board members for this meeting may be requested from Kathleen Hickman at 702-298-0828. Supporting material will be available at Clark County Department of Administrative Services, 500 South Grand Central Parkway, 6th floor, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89155. Supporting material will be available on the county's website at clarkcounty.nv.gov/Laughlin TAB. I'll take roll at this time. I am here. Kathy Oakes.
Here.
Bradley Beck.
Here.
Kathleen Haas is excused. Carrie Larson.
Here.
Our secretary, Kathleen Hickman, can be reached at 702-298-0828 or kathleen.hickman@clarkcountymv.gov or at Clark County Department of Administrative Services, 500 South Grand Central Parkway, 6th floor, Las Vegas, Nevada, 89155. Our county liaison, Mark Moskowitz, can be reached at 702-298-0828 or 702-455-6173, or mark.moskowitz, MOSKOWITZ, @clarkcountynv.gov. At this time, I will call the meeting to order, and Kathy, if you would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes.
Please stand.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Item 2, public comment. This is a period devoted to comments by the general public about items on this agenda. No discussion, action, or vote may be taken on this agenda item. You will be afforded the opportunity to speak on individual public hearing items at the time they are presented. If you wish to speak to the board about items within its jurisdiction but not appearing on this agenda, you must wait until the comments by the general public period listed at the end of this agenda. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to the speaker's podium. If applicable, clearly state your name and address, and please spell your last name for the record. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of a presentation, this will be done by the chairperson or the board by majority vote. Seeing as no one's stepping up, I will combine 3 and 4. Approval of the minutes for March 10th, 2026, and approval of the agenda for April 14th, 2026, and hold, combine, or delete any items.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion approving item 3 and item 4 today.
I second.
Thank you. Is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those are approved. Item 5 is informational items. Receive a report and updates from the South County Liaison, Mark Moskowitz, on current events and any updates from Clark County.
Thank you, Chair. First, I want to announce last week at the Board and County Commissioners approved the cooperative interlocal agreement between Clark County and the Big Bend Water District to finance the design, construction, and related studies of water projects in the Fort Mojave Valley. So I want to thank our town board for being very instrumental. Commissioner Naft has been very thankful. You've provided a lot of guidance and leadership towards this. Vice Chair Oaks, I want to thank you for attending the Board of County Commissioner meeting and speaking on the item in support. And it was very, very touching for Commissioner. He was very happy to see you there. I also want to thank Guy Hobbs. Guy Hobbs has been very instrumental in answering phone calls and really helping with guidance during this. So the next step is going to be on April 27th. This will go to the Big Bend Water District Board of Directors for their vote on that. So I will keep the town board and the township informed on all that's going on. So this is the first step in being able to start with getting water tanks and funding and studies done for the township of Laughlin. So we're excited for that steps. So and if we could bring up my presentation. I want to go through a few things. I got a few things. March 21st, it was Fred Doughton's remembrance. I was able to attend it. I know I saw several of our board members there. What I found so touching is that, like, how convenient it was to talk to Fred, but also to see how many people Fred knew and how many people you didn't know that Fred had such a great relationship with. So it was really nice to hear everyone talk about him, and it was a very nice ceremony and remembrance. So I was very happy that I was able to be there and think of all the good times in Fred. So I want to remember him on, make sure we don't ever forget him and know how impactful his life was to everyone in Laughlin. So that was a very nice ceremony. The next thing, I know we talked about movies in the park. We're bringing back, we're going to do a Friday night movie series. So it's going to be in Laughlin and Searchlight. We're very excited. Commissioner Naft is very excited to bring it back. We'll have complimentary popcorn and county swag at every event. But this Friday in Laughlin at Mountain View Park will be the Wild Robot will be played. The following Friday, April 24th, will be Despicable Me and Searchlight. Friday, May 8th, we'll be playing Inside Out at Mountain View Park. And then Friday, May 15th, we'll be playing Super Mario Brothers, the first movie, on the 15th. So we got some flyers in the back. It's a really fun event. All the movies start at 7 p.m. So bring a chair, bring a blanket. Like I said, we got popcorn there. We'll have some swag and all that. So we're really excited to bring these back, and they're a lot of fun. So, and I want to thank the high school and the elementary school for really sending out flyers, and everyone in the community have really been helping spread the word. So if you want us to send you a flyer, just let our office know. Other exciting news at Mountain View Park. I know at our coffee and conversation in January, we talked about putting pickleball lines on the tennis courts. Last week that was completed. You can kind of see them here. They're little black lines. So now the tennis courts can be used for both tennis and pickleball. Our pickleball players in Laughlin have been emailing me very happy. So we're really excited about it. If you have any questions or anything, let us know. But it's a fun little addition. I know the fire department uses it every morning. So now we have official pickleball lines on the tennis ball courts. But you can still play tennis as well. It's easy. They're not the same color. I think they're black and the tennis lines are white. So you'll be able to distinguish them. I know we've spoken about having the fitness room at the Spirit Mountain Activity Center on May 12th. We're going to have our ribbon cutting and opening ceremony. It's going to be at 3:30 p.m., so it'll be after town board, a little bit after that on that Tuesday, May 12th. If you have any questions, call our office. I'll have more information coming down. I believe it'll be a small fee to use the fitness room, which is what across the board in all county areas that have a fitness room. But if you have a membership here, you can use it anywhere. And I believe for seniors, it's like very, very minimal. So that'll be moving forward with all that as well. So we're very excited for it. Next week, they're going to start to do a lot of work on it. We've been working with the Boys and Girls Club to make sure that it's a smooth transition. This will be in the art room, so that art room won't be able to be used right now because we're going to be repainting it. We're going to be kind of like freshening it up and then bringing in equipment, putting floors in. So in the next few weeks, you're going to see a lot of work there if you're at the Spirit Mountain Activity Center. So this is a very interesting thing. Steve Wolford reached out to Commissioner Naff, and he's actually done for Channel 3 News 3 stories all about Laughlin and tourism and how it's very unique, how we're in a great area, how I know we had Lainey Wilson here, how she really brought a bunch of people in from Las Vegas and all over the country. So Commissioner Naft interviewed with Steve Wolford, but he did a 3-part series on April 2nd, 6th, and the 13th. And if you go to News 3 and just type in like Laughlin or search for it, or we can give you the links, they're actually really good stories. Really positive about Laughlin, showing how it's very unique, how it's different than Vegas, but a very positive, different way, and how the tourism is continually to grow, and we're not seeing the struggles that maybe Las Vegas is. So, and the resources of the Colorado River. So I would suggest anybody that wants to Google it, just look up Steve Wolford, Channel 3, Las Vegas, Laughlin. And it, like I said, it's a 3-part series that was published April 2nd, 6th, and 13th. So, and then that ends my presentation. But I also have one other fun update. I've been working with Commissioner Naft, Ashlyn Bilbray, myself. As we know, the athletics are moving to Las Vegas, and we really want them to have a connection with Laughlin. So we've been working to get them to be able to go to our high school and elementary school. On May 12th, they're going to be doing a full day with the Laughlin Junior High School and Bennett Elementary School. So what we didn't want to make it just like a show up with like a mascot and just, in and out, but they're going to do like a career fair for the older students where they'll have some of their front office people there to talk about careers in sports that aren't always on the baseball field, opportunities and stuff like that. For the younger students, we're going to kind of do like a recess takeover where they'll have their mascot Stomper go to recess with them, kind of hang out with the kids, run around, play in the playground, giving out athletic swag and all that. And then we also want to make sure we thank our teachers, faculty, and staff. So they're going to do either a breakfast and lunch that they'll cater for them and bring that in for them. So I want to thank Ashlyn for really pushing for this, and Commissioner Naft and I have really been pushing the A's to make sure they come down here and have a connection. So that's going to be on May 12th. It won't be open to the public. It's just for the students at the school, but we've been working with the school to really get a nice event so that there's a connection now when the team comes out here that they feel that, hey, I saw them come down to my school, or this is like something. And we also made sure that our baseball and softball teams will be at the event. So that's why it took a little while to figure out a date, but we're very, very excited for it. So, and they will continue to be part of our community even after this. This is kind of like our first kickoff event, and then we'll figure out more ways to keep them included because they've talked to us and made sure that they want to make sure that they are part of the community. So. And with that, those are all my updates.
Are you going to talk about all in Clark County?
That'll be at a later agenda item. We have our
Okay, so
representatives from them.
actually somebody's going to.
Yeah, and they're going to do a whole presentation. Yep.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
Receive an awards presentation from the Laughlin Rotary to honor a first responder for their dedication and contributions to the Laughlin community. And I don't see,
I know Jackie was running behind.
okay. So we will just,
Madam Chair, can we table that for the
Yes.
time being and when she arrives?
Sure.
Okay. The dogs are perfectly comfortable, so.
okay. Receive a report from Sergeant Tim Waller with Nevada Highway Patrol regarding activity and statistics during the last month and other public safety concerns.
Chair, I think, can we go back to Metro?
We'll go back to Metro. Go ahead. Yes,
I
that'll work.
skipped it, sorry.
Is the mic on?
There is no mic. Oh, there it is.
How about now?
There we go.
There we go. Last month, we conducted 474 traffic stops, issued 395 citations, and investigated 9 crashes. With all of our miscellaneous calls, motorist assist, we had a total of 648 contacts with the public. Any questions?
Are those crashes up there by where the construction is going on?
I think we had like one up in there, but they're just kind of all over the place between Boulder City and here.
And Madam Chair, what's the timeline on the newest phase of
So it's
construction, the
both-
forever phase? When does it end?
They're saying 2 months from now for the completion of the asphalt, but there'll probably be another 6 weeks after that with the rumble strips and the painting and the signage and all that. So probably about 3 months.
Okay, so we're looking August.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know.
all right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
for those of us that drive up every week.
Receive a report from Lieutenant Rogers with Metro Police regarding activity and statistics during the past month and other areas of crime concern.
Hey, good afternoon, folks. My name's Sergeant Gene Gallagher. I'm in place of Lieutenant Rogers. He's at another meeting today. I'm here to give you a report for the month of March 2026. We had 264 calls for service. That's down 7% from last year at the same time. Traffic citations were 88 for the month. Battery DVs, which is domestic violence arrests, were 4. There were no juvenile domestic violence arrests. Total bookings for the month was 19. No juveniles. There were no juveniles cited. There was basically one call for service at the high school and one call for service at the middle elementary school in the same place. And it looks like the majority of our calls down at Casino Drive are, as always, they're broken down. And Riverside at the top, Regency being the bottom. And for the residential areas, we see Desert Bay having the most calls for service at 24, which was consistent with last month, about 9%. And then we moved down to Vista Creek. And as far as community events, we have on the 22nd up at the high school, they're having their spring carnival, and we'll be in attendance with the children. It's pretty much for the students and the parents and the teachers. But other than that, we'll have things coming up in May, and we've got the event coming up, which is the old River Run Mayhem, and Lieutenant Rogers is at a meeting at this moment right now. That's why I'm here, and it's in the planning phase, and we'll be handling that as it comes. Does anybody have any questions?
Madam Chair. Just out of curiosity, and this just defines this for me, when you have calls at Laughlin High Middle School and then calls at Bennett Elementary, that's 2 physical locations, and one is predominantly, or is it still at basically what we know as the high school?
It's basically at the same location at the high school. The high school and the middle school and the elementary are split at the same physical address.
Right.
So they closed the old elementary school, and all the kids are in one place. So
Right. I'm just curious if you're having any calls for service at the, basically mothballed property there.
Once in a blue moon, we'll get like an alarm call or something like that, but that's really it. Nothing sticks out as significant, but it's generally when the wind blows, it sets off an alarm. But as we can see here, we didn't have anything up there.
Okay. Yeah, I was just wondering if that was maybe a call for service for something at the old physical location. Okay.
Does that answer your question?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Receive a report from Clark County Fire Department regarding calls for service during the past month and other fire prevention issues.
I don't see anyone.
see them. Receive a report from Val with Laughlin Chamber of Commerce regarding current and upcoming business activities in Laughlin. But that doesn't look like Val.
Nope. Hey, it's Claudia.
My name is Claudia Lambert. I'm stepping in for Val this week. She's taken some time off. Networking and education at the Laughlin Chamber offices. Our business breakfast this month will highlight Christy from Venus Energy Center, and she's dealing with sound healing and crystals. Our Toastmasters meet April 22nd at 5 o'clock. And the lunch mob is First Fridays, and we're doing Old Town Saloon this month next month at 2850 South Casino Drive. You can call myself, Claudia, to book a date at 702-928-2214, extension 1. Laughlin Chamber of Commerce events, the Big Mixer Bar and the after party at LEC, scheduled for May 9th. We just had a really great, successful one, so we're heading up and trying it again. The 36th Annual Chef's Food Fest, a taste of sweet revenge. Tickets are on sale now at laughlinchamber.com. That event is scheduled for May 4th at 5 p.m. Membership, total activity in members is 270. Total new members first quarter is 11. Total of new members from Laughlin, 3. Volunteers in partnership, better known as our VIPs, monthly meeting tonight, 4:14 at Harrah's Laughlin in the Escondida room. Anyone interested in volunteering as an usher or townwide concerts and events, sites or site support, pick up an application at the Laughlin Chamber, or you may email Sue Barilla VIP@yahoo.com for more information to apply. Additional services we provide at the Chamber are notary, services by appointment only. Membership services are free. Non-members are fee-based by the state of Nevada. Endow, registered agent for a fishing agent and small game license. We sell fishing license and small game at the Laughlin Chamber, and we also have a visitors hosted center and a business center services. Respectfully submitted by myself, Claudia Lambert, Member Engagement Specialist at the Laughlin Chamber of Commerce. Do you have any questions?
No?
Nope, good, thanks.
Okay. All right. Why is the chamber not on after that? I mean, the tourism. Receive a report and updates from principal, I'm not sure what position you are, Mr. Hockett from Laughlin School District.
Hi there, thank you. My name is Brad Hockett. I'm the assistant principal. I'm in place of Principal Dr. John Moss, who he wanted to be here, but he had to leave early today. Thanks for inviting us to the Laughlin schools, to the Laughlin Advisory Board meeting. A few things to cover. Our attendance, our chronic absenteeism continues to be at a three-year best. So our chronic absenteeism in the past 3 years is about 30%. Right now at the elementary school, Bennett, we're at 18%, and at the middle school, high school, we're 20 to 25% chronic absenteeism. Chronic absenteeism means a student misses 10% of the days that they should be in school. So if we have 180 school days, they should be in school for 18 days. If they miss more than that, it's called chronic absenteeism. So right now, we're at a 3-year low with our chronic absenteeism. Graduation is May 26th at 2 o'clock. It'll be in the gymnasium. This year, we're expecting 34 graduates. That's up from 28 graduates from last year. Out of those 34 graduates, 75% of our graduates are now career and college diploma participants. To be CCNR, Career College and Ready, they have to either complete dual enrollment classes, CTE programs like culinary teaching and training, and other programs. So out of the 34, 75% are CCNR, and out of those 56 have met the requirements to be considered a completer for Clark County School District. Next year, we're going to offer another CTE program. We're extending to a business program, so we'll offer marketing and introduction to business. So that will go along with the culinary program and the teaching and learning program for our third CTE program. As mentioned earlier, we'll have the Laughlin Carnival on April 22nd from 5 to 7 on campus. For our winter sports, we had 5 students make the all-state academic team. So that was the first time in quite a few years that any of our athletes have been considered for the all-state academic team. Nice. Next year's school times, as you know, have been changed. The 6th through 12th grade will start classes at 8:30, and the elementary school will start at 9:15. Currently, the elementary starts at 9, so it's about a 15-minute later arrival time for elementary. Currently, the high school starts at 8 o'clock. District mandate is high school students now start at 8:30 starting next school year. Prom is on May 2nd at the Riverside Casino from 8 to 11 o'clock. This week, we're doing all of our state testing for middle school, our SBAC state testing exams. Currently, for enrollment, we have 142 middle school students. That's grades 6 through 8. And our high school, currently, we have 175 students. That's grades 9 through 12. So overall, 6 through 12, we're looking at about 317 students. And at the elementary, we're right around the 300 mark. We anticipate, we're looking forward to the partnership with the A's. As we've talked about earlier, or was mentioned earlier, we're looking forward to them being on campus May 12th. And currently, our softball, baseballs, and track teams are in the spring season and competing very well in 1A. Anybody have questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you.
I see Jackie is here. Okay, we'll go back to item 3 that we tabled. Item 2, excuse me. Receive an awards presentation from the Laughlin Rotary to honor a first responder for their dedication and contributions to the Laughlin community.
Hello, Board. Sorry for my tardiness. You can't give an award unless you have it. Too many things on the brain these days. So I would like to invite our recipients up today with their wonderful guests and my Rotary members, please. They're so pretty. Oh, Annie. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Laughlin, it's my honor to present our first responder of the quarter for the first quarter of 2026. Approximately 3 years ago, Black Mountain Canine Search and Rescue was established as a 501c3 charitable organization with a profound mission to assist families and first responder agencies in searching for lost and missing persons using highly trained certified search and rescue canine teams. Prior to their formation, there were no certified search and rescue dogs serving the tri-state area. That changed with the certification of Team Nova, the first certified search and rescue canine team in Mojave County, Arizona. Today, that single team has grown into 5 certified search and rescue canine teams supported by 15 dedicated volunteers. Every single member is a volunteer. No one is paid, no family is charged, and no agency is billed for their services. If you call, they respond. Black Mountain Canine Search and Rescue has assisted federal, state, and local agencies across multiple states. They have supported highly sensitive search operations and stood beside families in moments of uncertainty and heartbreak, offering both professional expertise and compassion. They are also the only outside organization requested by the Navajo Tribal Nation to assist in searches for missing and murdered Indigenous people. Their service has extended across the Navajo, Hopi, and Ute reservations, a powerful testament to the trust they have earned. Beyond search and rescue operations, they invest in prevention and education, participating in the annual Kiwanis Kids Expo, Bullhead City Police Department's Bicycle Rodeo, and the Boy Scouts of America Jamboree in Las Vegas. These events promote water and outdoor safety while giving the community the opportunity to meet the remarkable canine teams. Individually, members also volunteer with organizations such as Shriners Children's Hospitals and the Laughlin VIPs. Service is not an activity for them, it's a way of life. Rotary's guiding principles is service above self. Today, we recognize an organization that embodies that principle in its purest form. When someone is missing, when time is crucial, when families are waiting, they step forward. On behalf of the Rotary Club of Laughlin, it is my distinct honor to present the First Responder of the Quarter Award for Quarter 1, 2026 to Black Mountain Canine Search and Rescue. Thank you for your courage, thank you for your compassion, and thank you for answering the call every time.
He's a lab, they lay. Yep. I just want you guys to remember that when you have an emergency
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Receive a report and presentation from representatives of Clark County's Department of Environment and Sustainability regarding the All in Clark County initiative, a countywide effort focused on sustainability and community resilience.
Welcome.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jody Bechtel. I'm the Deputy Director of Clark County's Department of Environment and Sustainability, and I'm joined today by Olivia Burns and Shay Kwasneski. I hope I got that right this time, Shay. So we are here to talk to you about All in Clark County. Oh, there it goes. There we go. Okay. So we wanted to talk to you about All in Clark County. What is it? Why do we have it? And then we are here to promote a survey for the rural and outlying areas in Clark County. We want to hear from you and your community about what you feel is impacting you. And based on the survey results, we're hoping to compile some programs or some information and come back out into all the communities later this year. So we'll talk a little bit about that. So what is All in Clark County? So that is our sustainability initiative. So we are looking to promote and create a sustainable community for the well-being of all, today and for future generations and for all of our tourists. So we created a community sustainability and climate action plan. It's the first ever for Clark County that was adopted in 2023. And again, this program is led by the Department of Environment and Sustainability. We used to be the Department of Air Quality. We're probably better known for that, but we took on sustainability in 2019, and we also manage a desert conservation program which provides for compliance with the Endangered Species Act. So we changed our name in 2019 to Environment and Sustainability. So why do we have this program? So I think we can all appreciate the climate hazards that we face here in Clark County, and some that are getting worse. So we have extreme heat. We always have extreme heat, but we are experiencing more intense, longer durations of heat, and especially during the evenings when infrastructure doesn't cool down and it prevents people and the infrastructure from cooling down. It just creates kind of that heat dome. We have increased flooding. So again, we don't get a lot of rain out here, but when we do, we're seeing more intense localized storms and more flooding. Of course, we're living in drought, and wildfires is another problem that we're seeing an increase of, not necessarily here in Clark County, though they do occur, but wildfires across the western United States can very much impact us, especially air quality. So when I talk about sustainability, I thought this would just be helpful. We talk about it and meaning that it's a balancing of resource efficiency, social well-being, environmental stewardship, all while equitably meeting the needs of our community. So it's very broad and all-encompassing. And resilience is just making sure that everyone is able to adapt to the changes that we may be experiencing. So that's what we mean by sustainability and resilience in this program. When we developed the Community Sustainability and Climate Action Plan, we categorized all of the actions into these 6 areas. So we're looking at clean and reliable energy. Again, that would be, moving to solar, wind power, other things that are maybe more clean than the combustible engines and coal and things that we have seen. And a lot of actually most of the coal plants have been closed in the state of Nevada except for one, I believe. Connected and equitable mobility, we want to make sure that people can get to where they need to go. Diverse and circular economy, so that is the reduce, reuse, recycle, waste management. So we want to try and reuse, and reduce the waste that's going into landfills. A sustainable water system, obviously we just need to make sure we have decent water quality and enough water for all of our residents and communities. Resilient and healthy community, that could be any number of things, but we want our community members to thrive and again, be able to meet their needs and have access to the things they need. And then smart buildings and development is really that energy efficiency and making sure that we're building properly or retrofitting as needed. So when we developed the plan, it was adopted again in 2023. We recognized that, 6 categories, lots and lots of actions. Let's prioritize, this is the first ever plan for the community. Let's figure out what we can do to get started. And so one of the things, excuse me, that we recognized that was helpful when we developed the plan was coordinating with as many people as possible, and we wanted to keep that going. So we have brought together local governments, organizations, nonprofit groups, as many people as possible in the development of the plan, and we want to keep those people engaged. So we did create a regional climate collaborative, and each of the 5 incorporated cities in Clark County, so Las Vegas, North Las Vegas, Henderson, Mesquite, Boulder City, we all signed on to a regional interlocal agreement, and that also includes the Regional Transportation Commission and Southern Nevada Water Authority. And basically just coming together and recognizing that we want to implement and be consistent in these actions. And so we have been meeting quarterly with that group, and again, continue to help each other, share resources, and try and be consistent in our messaging. And then this year, since it's been a few years since we've had this community plan, we really wanted to focus on the rural and outlying areas in some of our outreach. I know some of the Las Vegas Valley focus that can occur, and we really wanted to get out and spread this message to these outlying communities and make sure that your needs are being heard and hopefully addressed. So another area that we are focusing on in the immediate future is resilience and heat mitigation. So this is really big, and the political electeds really want to focus on heat mitigation. We've got a community canopy tree giveaway program where we give away just under 4,500 trees every year in spring and fall. They are available to everyone. We've identified areas, zip codes that are underserved and under extreme heat. They get first crack at these trees, but they are available throughout all of Clark County. And I believe we'll have some information on the websites and how to get to our website if you're interested in that. But we also have our Stay Cool Clark County. It's our heat mitigation strategy. We work with social services to get cooling centers opened and make people aware of those extreme heat days and episodes that we have. And then we've been working on some what we call resiliency hubs. So within communities such as these, or even in neighborhoods in the Las Vegas Valley, they are resources that are usually community-based led that people know they can turn to if there's power outages or emergencies or fires or your AC goes out or just any number of things. But that these are centers. We've worked with a couple faith-based groups in Las Vegas to create these, and this is something that maybe we can bring to some of these other communities. Alternative fuels is another area, just really trying to promote cleaner fuels that helps our air quality. And so we promote electric vehicles. We have ride and drive events, also maybe something that communities are interested in, and bringing a variety of different auto dealerships. They bring the EVs to an event. You can learn about them. You can test drive them without the pressure of a dealership. So we've done quite a few of those. And then we're active in trying to promote alternative fuels, and again, EV charging infrastructure and EV conversions. And lastly, the outreach and education. So one thing we realized is this community would benefit from a lot of outreach on what is, climate 101, what is resiliency, what can you do, what can we do for you? So we've done quite a bit of outreach and education. We're continuing that. We have an ambassador program, which Shay is one of our ambassadors. She's our lead ambassador. We have, I want to say, about 8 part-time people from the communities, and they go out to community events, staff those events, and talk to their, anyone in the community. And we want to recruit people from those communities to help represent these issues. We do solar installation outreach. We're actually working on a contract with a company called Sunrun, who is going to go out into the communities and work with people who want solar and try and get neighborhoods to be able to reduce their costs for solar by bulk purchasing and those sorts of things. So that's an exciting program that hasn't started, but it's about to start up. And then in that bottom left corner there, we do monthly webinars that are open and free to everyone. And again, there'll be some information of how to join those if you're interested. Our next one is Save Money with NV Energy rebates and incentives. And then yes, so allinclarkcounty.com/events is the website to find those webinars. So with that, I'm not going to talk further about the program, but happy to answer questions. And again, we have in the back some posters with a QR code that you can go to for the survey. We also have some giveaways. We have air fresheners and an All in Clark County pin if you're interested. They're in the back on the table. There we go. And these questions here, these aren't the questions on the survey, but this is the flavor of the survey and what we're trying to find out. So what is concerning you about any severe weather in your community? Are there any top climate-related risks to your community that you would like addressed? Infrastructure concerns, opportunities to promote clean energy, those sorts of things. And so, again, that just kind of gives you, get the juices flowing and thinking about what we're talking about. And then, yes, if this is the QR code for the survey, we're asking if you could just please distribute it to your friends and neighbors. We have some posters you can post around. We're probably going to be doing direct mailings. There'll be some Facebook posts about this, but we'd really love to hear from you. If you want to provide your email address, you would be entered into a $50 grocery gift card award, potentially. We're giving away 4 of those. So we just ask if you could please help us promote this, and then depending on what the results are, we hope to come back and talk to you more in detail, maybe attend some events that you have, or promote an informational fair, whatever it may be. So, any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
So I've known quite a few people who put solar panels on top of their homes. And as you know, we're generally about 8 to 10 degrees warmer than Vegas. But the problem that I've seen that those that have done this, those solar companies go out of business.
Yeah.
So how do you address that when someone says, well, I'm considering it, but everybody I talk to says the person who put the panels on went out of business.
No longer there.
So if there's an issue or they need to put on a new roof, there's costs associated with all of that a lot of people aren't aware of. So how are you addressing that in Vegas?
Yeah, and so actually I'm very familiar. My father lives across the river and has a solar panel and a turbine, and they can't get anyone out to fix them. And I have actually been contacted by, I want to say, a constable down here a couple of years ago who said it's kind of like a resource desert. You don't have the companies down here to do the maintenance or replacement. So I think that is something we could probably help with. It is a problem in Vegas as well. I just put solar on my house, but the program I went with is they own it and they maintain it and they take it down if it breaks, if I want to get rid of it. So there are some programs like that might be available to citizens, but it is a problem. And then we also want to see that the reusing and recycling of those panels once they are taken down, because they do over time break and have to be replaced. So it's definitely something, I think, because solar has been new across the nation, more and more people are embracing it, but we are at the point where people who have installed it early are now needing to replace it and coming up with programs to help with that. There aren't any particularly, but there are a lot of solar programs out there. And because my father lives across the river, I don't know if you guys work a lot or try and coordinate events with Bullhead and Fort Mojave.
We work together.
Yeah, I figured you have to, right? They're right there. But yeah, one of the things I was thinking might be of interest is trying to get some of the companies that are more established. This company Sunrun that we're going to be working with is going to be vetting some of them, looking at Better Business Bureau reports and things, and trying to, from a non-government perspective, find those that are good quality companies that have been around and seem pretty solid, which also helps because there are a lot of fly-by-night companies that you can't really trust. That's been something we've heard. So really trying to build up those resources and then have them available down here in Laughlin or in other outlying areas is something that I think we might be able to help with.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
At least something we can send to her. Yeah. Sorry, we just obligated you.
Yes, somebody put it in a survey, yeah. But it is one of the things I thought, and particularly here, because this is one of our largest outlying areas. I mean, so I don't really consider you guys rural. I mean, it's a full town. But yeah, it's just a bit of a resource desert because a lot of people, the businesses aren't here. But I think we could get them down here, maybe once a month or at some periodic time frame, and then, you know, across the river as well, so.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Many have experienced the reality that sustainability and efficiency efforts are generally expensive. I would ask that as you're creating a plan, to please figure out a way to offset the additional costs for outlying areas. For example, you may have one fee that goes across all of Clark County. But please take into account the fact that there are additional trip charges that your outside rural areas encounter that can be fairly significant. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Oh, and where can we get trees down here?
So didn't the last slide have the website on it?
I mean, are they available here, or do you have to drive 200 miles round
Gotcha.
trip to
Yes,
get them?
so with what we do is it's a partnership with the Arbor Foundation, and there's a website. So in spring or fall when we launch it, the website goes live, and you go in, you enter your address. It'll show you aerial view of your property, and it will help you determine where might be best for energy efficiency purposes to plant that tree. And then you can select your tree. We usually have 2 options, and it's shipped directly to you.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Good.
Are they drought tolerant?
They are. So we work with Southern Nevada Water Authority. We're very concerned about that. So they should be drought tolerant, decent enough for our climate, and then we try and pick a fruit tree and a shade tree. And then we also give away about 300 at different events. And so that one, if we ended up, I don't know if it would be how practical it would be to do one of those in an outlying community, but you can get them free directly to you.
What is the size of that tree? Like a 3-gallon, 5-gallon?
3 and 5 gallon, 4 to 7 feet, usually
Yeah.
delivered to your house.
Okay, thank you.
And then we also have a program if for some reason it doesn't look healthy.
Can you come up, please? Thank you.
Come on up, Olivia. Yeah, she knows the details.
Yeah. So for the tree programming, if the tree somehow comes to your house, gets delivered, and it's not healthy, the Arbor Day Foundation will replace that tree. And then we also provide a lot of resources and training for residents to plant the tree in their property. But the website is staycoolclarkcounty.com. And then you would click the Arbor Day Foundation link. There might still be some trees available for our spring, but you'd have to get it probably this week since they're about to be booked up. But we could always send an email out and flyer out for the fall, so your community could get it.
Great.
Thank you.
This fall will be our 3rd year of this program.
Yep.
So.
I think you mentioned that you give priority to extra hot areas. Are we at the top of that list?
So we'd have to look at the zip codes. So the heat burden zip codes, they get 2 trees, but everyone else could get 1 tree.
Yeah, and that study was done by the Regional Transportation Commission. I think it did focus on the Las Vegas Valley. So, but we'll double check the zip codes. You guys are
Because
definitely
we're hotter
eligible.
than them. Yeah.
You are. I was just telling you, it's 10 degrees warmer here than it is in Vegas. All right.
All right, anything else?
May I ask a question?
No.
With the QR code, you can go there at the website, right? publicinput.com/what you need, that can give you directly.
Yep, you could use the link, or you could scan the QR code, same survey.
Now, I want to make sure, I work for the newspaper, I want to make sure they can get it, I can't.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, you don't have to enter in your email, only if you want to be in the raffle.
And the surveys are the QR codes are in the back, so you can pick one up if you need to.
And we also have copies of the presentation in the back, so if you want to look at that link for the trees as well.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Receive a report from Jason Bailey with Big Bend Water District regarding the status of the water system.
All right, good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Jason Bailey with the Big Bend Water District. For water treatment, total diversions for the month of March were 287 acre feet, or 93.5 million gallons. Total diversions year to date are 786 acre feet, or 256 million gallons. That is up from 749 acre feet last year. We had a pretty warm month last month, and even this month has been seasonably warm, so I think people are utilizing water a little earlier in the year. Water system update. The staff has upgraded the new SCADA system. That's kind of the control, the brain of the system, the treatment facility, for both the ozone and chemical systems, so that will help optimize some plant performance. They also replaced the ozone generator pressure regulator, which will help with the proper performance of that generator. For a financial update through the fiscal year to date, or for the fiscal year to date through February, the end of February, the debt balance decreased $431,000 from the year-end balance of $2.66 million to approximately $2.22 million as of the end of February. As Mark mentioned, the Board of County Commissioners took the interlocal cooperative agreement between Clark County and the Big Bend Water District, and they approved that. So we as well would like to thank Commissioner Naft and the county and this board for your support in that. And as well, he mentioned that the Big Bend Water District Board of Trustees will take that to its board on April 27th. That's a Monday. And that meeting will be held at the SNWA offices. It's a little different location this time, and that is at 100 North City Parkway. That is also the Mulaski Corporate Center. That meeting will be posted next Monday, the 20th, and so I will make sure to email the board the details of that meeting and that agenda.
Yeah. And I'll be there.
Okay, that is my report.
Okay. Is it okay if okay. So out of the hearing, and this is just directly what came from the hearing. So the interlocal agreement reads, let me see here. Okay. Sorry, I have it in writing, so I'll read it so I'm the most accurate I can be. Okay. The interlocal agreement was approved, at least the study and design plan, for up to $2 million, and then it comes back to the Laughlin Town Advisory Board for approval with real and actual numbers to approve or deny the additional build-out cost of 1 to 2 tanks with up to $9 million in construction costs. So what that means is we funded from the Fort Mojave Development Fund the hydraulic study and the design and plan review for 2 water tanks. Once those studies are completed by an independent third-party agency, and we have some real numbers from there, those numbers will come back to this town advisory board. At that point, we will choose to go forward with construction or not. It sits in the hands of this board. In addition, this board will have input in the request for proposal for the third-party independent company to do the hydraulic study and to do the design plan and review. So we'll be involved in that process. Overall, we placed a cap of $11 million on the loan for the Fort Mojave Development Fund. Let's see, and the loan, just for purposes, and this was stated in the meeting as well, the loan is secured by money in the Fort Mojave Development Fund, and it's made between the Fort Mojave Development Fund and the Big Bend Water District. And it is capped at $11 million, and it is at a 0% interest. Basically, the term typically used is amortized, although there's no interest, for 30 years. Repayment of the loan is based off of connection charges that will come and at the current connection rates. There will be no additional tier, no higher fees for development in Laughlin, because that would be at a disadvantage for development here on this side versus the Arizona side. And in that 30-year duration, any matching fund or whole grants, federal funds, or income from land leases deposited into the Fort Mojave Development Fund for the duration of the 30 years. The assets belong to the Big Bend Water District, and the Laughlin Town Board representative will be involved in the FRP selection of the third-party contractors. This also will create the formation of the Fort Mojave Development Fund Capital Committee to define the scope of use for the fund and defined uses for the fund in the future. Ongoing reports from that committee will come before this Laughlin Town Board for public information and voting. About what you've heard too.
Thank you, yes. Thank you.
And just one thing, Jason, if I might add, for the public, if you're not aware, this is an interlocal agreement, and I'm going to try and break this down so that most of the public can understand what that means. It's different. So the analogy I'm going to draw is what I went through when I built my companies. My very first restaurant, I built out cash, and I formed a corporation. And in that corporation, when I built my second restaurant, I did an SBA loan. And that's a really technical loan. You have to do financials, and there's UCC1 filings and collateral, and what is the collateral, and how is the loan going to be paid back based on the income of my businesses. So that's like a 6-month to a year process. And I have heard that a lot of people want to understand that process and what exactly is happening. But if I might add, today, when I do a loan, and my banker, Jennifer's not here, but when I do a loan, I may take my money in the bank, cash, and loan against it. So this is a legal transaction because in my corporation, I have Cinnabon, and I have pizza, and I have ice cream. I have a kennel, I have a breeding facility, I have a canine facility. And this is under one corporation head. Sometimes I borrow money, cash on hand, belonging to, let's say, my Cinnabon, to fund my kennel and start my kennel. So if you would look at the county as a corporation, and you would look at an interlocal agreement from the standpoint, Public Works is borrowing money from flood control, or the Las Vegas Valley Water District, or Big Bend and Fort Mojave, to other sources. That's why this doesn't have, on the face of it, it's an interlocal agreement, and it doesn't have everything I went through when I funded my businesses with an SBA loan. I don't have a UCC1. I don't have income statements. I don't have amortization schedules and all of this information that's typical that we know of loans. This is an interlocal agreement. It's a loan from one department to another department within a corporation. If that's the analogy I can make for most people to understand why we don't have filings, why we don't have financial statements, why it was done in this manner. It's all legal. When I do a loan to my kennel facility from my Cinnabon, it's an arm's length agreement, legal, binding, but it is voted on by my shareholders and by my board of directors. And that's basically what your BCC did here with the Big Bend Water District. And it is a good deal for the county because it's at 0%. The asset belongs to the Big Bend Water deal. It's a sweet deal for them. We believe also, my understanding is that the moment the request for proposal for the construction portion, in other words, we approve, this board approves going forward with the real numbers, those water rights will come on a first come, first served basis immediately. So we don't have to wait until the tanks are completely done. It'll no longer be in the deficit because the money is fully on hand. So if there's, just to help everybody understand what interlocal and why some of the hurdles that you go through to do a big commercial loan aren't present.
And that's correct. What you said is once the agreement for the construction costs, that there's the understanding the money is available. Anyone that wants to develop and stuff, it can kind of go in line.
And again, at current connection charges. This will not create a new scale, and put Laughlin at a disadvantage because we have this loan to repay. Because right now, I mean, it very much is, we lose commercial stuff to that side of the river because we aren't able to develop in this deficit. And we couldn't take the chance that Laughlin would be penalized with this loan solely on connection charges.
Thank you. That was a good explanation.
That your understanding too, Jason?
Yep. So to make this a fully executed agreement, of course, it needs to go before the Big Bend Board of Trustees, and that's the next step on April 27th. Again, the chair of that board is Commissioner Naft, so that's that next step. Thank you.
Okay. Receive a report from Will Smith with Clark County Water Reclamation District regarding the status of the wastewater system.
Good afternoon, Will Smith, Clark County Water Reclamation District, the Laughlin facility, and here to share the statistics for March 2026. The Laughlin facility treated an inflow flow average of 1.52 million gallons a day. We cleaned and treated water returned to the Colorado River, 42.19 million gallons, or that converts over to 129 acre feet. Last year, this time in March 2025, we treated an inflow and flow average of 1.51 million gallons a day. Clean and treated return water to the Colorado River of 40.48 million gallons, or converted over to 124.2 acre feet. 2026, this is an increase of 1.7 million gallons, or 5.23 acre feet of clean water return compared to last year. Attached to the report, as usual, I have the inflow flow comparison chart. There were 0 sewer service complaints, no odor complaints. There were 12 call before you dig tickets for the March 2026 month. Attached to the report, I still have the CCWRD service rules, rates and charges, billing units, along with a link to get to those. Financial update. The Laughlin facility for 2025-2026 overall approved operating expense budget was $2,373,823. Operation and maintenance expense of $1,365,000. Currently, we are 51.87% of the operation and maintenance budget remaining, with an available balance of $708,059. Currently, there are no community impacting projects in progress at this moment, but we still have the upcoming Project 2012, the Laughlin Lift Station number 2 Force Main Rehabilitation Project. The project was awarded, as I mentioned in the other meetings, to Harbor Company. We have not received a project start date at this time. And that is my report, ladies and gents. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Receiver, I don't see Kelly. Yes, there she is. Kelly Lear, Southern County, Clark County Coordinator with UNR Extension.
Hi, Board. I wanted to tell you, Pam, that I stopped by Laughlin Post 60 today. I love all the free plant stuff because I dropped off diatomaceous earth, soil, and some new seeds for spring. And I'm in digging clothes. I always love it when people get up here. Carrie is always dressed nicely, and I get up here and I've been digging in the garden, so I apologize. I brought 2 free trees from our orchard, and one is a fig tree, beautiful, and one is an apricot tree, and so those were just planted today by me. So any free trees you can get, we'll give them a shot, because those trees, the fig ones, seem to be pretty hardy. We had to cancel our shooting sports. Kathleen, know that when I sent you my report last week, it's because I thought the board meeting was on 4/7, not 4/14. We had an air rifle clinic and Searchlight on Saturday, and once again, the winds were crazy. We couldn't even put up the targets. They were blowing down. So we're going to try again on May 2nd. It's our last one, and it's archery. I also provided a 2-hour volleyball clinic on Thursday, April 16th during spring break for junior high and high school. And it was so bloody hot. I only had 6 kids show up, and it was morning. I changed the time. But it was hotter than tolerable, and the 6 kids that attended loved it, and only one adult, me, felt heat exhaustion, and so I had to go into the air conditioning and recuperate. And I'm usually pretty good. So we won't do that in April and March again, because you just never know in Laughlin what you're going to get. Our April Healthy Aging and Living newsletter I have to bring. I'm moving University of Nevada, Reno Extension into the new building. And so in the process, my Healthy Aging Living newsletters, I know where they are. They're sitting on my desk right across the way. But I'm moving things in loads, and so it's on my desk. So I'm going to come back. If the security guy remembers me, I'll come back at the end of the day and bring those. We had 26 people in attendance at the native and native-like plant presentation at the Laughlin Library on March 21st. M.L. Robinson, he is a hoot. He's quite a character, but he has a following. He will present on plants and how they show climate change, and that'll be on May 9th from 11 to 12:30 at the Laughlin Library. So he's coming again. We had a lot of people from across the river show up. They really like him. He's a horticulture specialist. So Brad, don't show him your garden. We'll talk. Also want to remind everybody in the community I have radon kits available. I still have the ones that plug in. There's a couple in the back that are just the trays that you can put at the base of your house, and just to kind of check the foundation and see, hopefully not have, that gas emitting. Devin and I are going to offer a 4-day, 2-hour camp at the Laughlin Library in June for 4th through 6th graders. And we're just going to try some different things, because they've gotten robotics from us before, and they've gotten planting from us before. So we're going to give them things like no cooking baking, basically making cookie dough and making cheesecakes without having an oven. And they love to eat, so they'll like that. We have a pirate day, we have all about Japan day, we have homemade music day. So just kind of try and create a spark and see what they're interested in and give them something else. And then seeing Brad here and talking to Mr. Moss is we're still trying to get something with the kids in the high school and the junior high with a raised garden. And so when they're waiting for their younger siblings to get out of school, maybe they can come and do kind of a junior master gardener program and do some horticulture, because Devin works magic with her gardens. If you have a chance to see the community garden, it is blossoming. It's beautiful. And between the plants that we planted for Fred down at the other park, we have just hordes of butterflies right now. They're migrating, and if you have anything like Australian racer or any type of desert bloom, there's just hundreds of them out. So I totally encourage you to get some desert tolerant plants and put them out so we can help with that migration. Let's see if there's anything else. Oh, as far as bringing the A's, I was just going to say I was a Parks and Rec coordinator for the city of Boulder City. So I would encourage asking the Raiders, the Lights, the Aces, the Knights, the Thrill. They all should be coming out to Boulder City and Laughlin, because that's what they want to do. They want to generate revenue from all the outlying areas. So you nabbed the Aces, awesome, but I would reach out even more for any of the other ones. Also, lastly, I am the recipient of that grant that I think I told you about last time through the Department of Agriculture. It's not much, but it's going to fund some produce boxes, and they're coming from small farms in Arizona on their way up to Nevada, and then back small farms from Nevada. And so what we're going to try and do is incorporate those small produce boxes. I think it's 9 pounds in each produce box, and you never know what you're going to get. It's going to be whatever they've grown. But we're going to try and incorporate that with Healthy Aging and Living and our Healthy Me curriculum and our Junior Master Gardener program. I did something with the 55 and older in Searchlight yesterday. I do bingo size, which I will also offer at the Laughlin Senior Center next month on the 14th. I was there last week. I incorporated crockpot cooking and taking some of those herbs from our garden and putting it into a really easy chili, and they loved it. So that's what we're going to try and do with these produce boxes, and show the kids how to make things that are healthy too, and get them to eat healthy instead of what in my family we call orange food, which is macaroni and cheese and any cheese balls and cheese puffs, and so get them to eat something healthy. So, any questions for me?
No, always love it when you.
Thanks, y'all.
God, my hands are freezing.
Receive a report from Jackie Wallen with Laughlin Tourism Commission regarding current and upcoming events.
Good afternoon again. My report is mainly not necessarily about events, because we just had the biggest one we're going to have for the spring time zone. Lainey Wilson was sold out at 11,600 tickets. She filled. It was fun. It was a beautiful production, and everybody enjoyed themselves. We did have an increase in occupancy, which was really, really nice. So we get more bed tax dollars coming towards our way so that we can have more townwide events. I wanted to advise you that from the Huddle Up group that we had, the SWOT analysis, he got us some contacts to get into the sports symposium coming up on April 20th through the 23rd. Meg and I will be going up there and serving in our own exhibit and getting meetings with other sports-liked people who create sport tourism or tournications. They call them, so that we can get more sports tourism here and have them stay in Laughlin no matter where their venue of competition lies. So that's going to be really good. We'll have a lot of meetings. There's like speed dating. We get about 20 minutes with them, and we have to do several days of that. But Meg and I are we're pretty knowledgeable of the venues that we have here and what we can handle and what we can't. That will also help me go towards state and federal grants for venue improvements. So if we have a special kind of event, like we know we like off-road racing, here we need to get more off-road racing venue event development funds so that we can create more funds for those people to come and get better Wi-Fi connections to water and fuel and all those kind of things. So those kind of development funds are really important for us to go after. The Davis Dam still is not in action right now for the anniversary. As soon as the federal government, Mr. Bergman, comes to us and tells us that we can start celebrating, we will. The first grant that's noted there is the River 250, as you know. That was the $35,000 grant to ensure that we did cross-border collaboration with Bullhead City. So far, I have sold out of the first 500 shirts, and we're going on the second: shirts, hats, and these that I have plenty for everybody. These are waterproof, and they go on your water bottles or any place you want to put them, even your cars. And we're selling out a lot. My goal is to sell enough shirts and hats to ensure that we can give some of our younger children some hats and shirts that are going to take them through their life and be some kind of a memorial of the time that they've lived through. We all know that we would live through 1976. It was a great feeling for all of us to live through that,
And on that freedom train.
celebration. So I'm hoping to keep going. I do attend events at least 3 times a week to sell, and it's going straight cash or credit, doesn't matter. And then if you go down below, one of the big events I'm working with Bullhead City right now is the Star Spangled Summer Camp. They have a summer camp. They've had it for several years now, and they do include our children from the Nevada side. I'm trying to make sure all those children on this side are for sure provided money and t-shirts for that event, so that, and hopefully we can get them better transportation to get them over there. The curriculum this year for that 6-week program is amazing. It's from food to gardening, just like Kelly talked about, but they get it in different areas over there. They get to go to different parks, and the list is crazy. If you go on their website, the amount of activities they have is really, really nice. And the summer camp registration has been extended, and there is still a reduction in those fees that you have to pay for the children's activities. Each activity has a little bit of a fee to cover the expense of the food and all that kind of stuff that they're doing. I've attached 2 of our most recent ones that are be coming up. One is the Bill Bray Spring Fling Barbecue that raises money to go into the Rotary Laughlin Rotary's youth programs to make sure that we have enough money to continue doing the youth programs that we support. And the other one is A Night at the Library. It's sort of like the movie A Night at the Museum, where you kind of dress up and go in and get some hors d'oeuvres. There's 14 period flags hanging from the Mojave County Library right now. You're looking at Betsy Ross. I have been studying a lot about Betsy Ross and being able to talk about some of the period pieces. Volunteers will be there helping me sell some of the merchandise so people can take home a souvenir. And then the last grant that we're working with is the Go-Laughlin grant. The website and the Facebook page are up and running, and they get better and better all the time. But here's a couple examples of the kind of postings we're doing to remind people to live in that dash between their birth and their death, to make sure that they're moving, creating, competing, exploring, going out and doing anything that makes them move. We even have those for Go Gaming and all those kind of things so that people don't complain. That grant is $25,000, and we can ask for grants to continue the maintenance on that website. That website and Facebook page are not temporary, but the River 250 is temporary because that grant only lasts through July 4th. So we got to fit in as much as we can. Do you guys have any questions about those events?
I do.
Okay.
On this thing for the kids here, what does it cost?
It depends on the event that the activity that you're going to. So it depends on whether it's food activities. If you want to buy the whole summer full of activities, I would not know what that cost is, but I can surely send it to you.
Yeah, I was going to ask because, we can make a donation from the post to cover some kids, but first thing they're going to ask, what does it cost?
Yes. So what I'll do is I'll go on the website, get a detail of what all the events are. In fact, on their shirts, the Star Spangled Summer Camp, all the events are listed on the back of the shirt. So when they go home from camp, they have it on their shirt and they know which ones to register for. But they're all covered. Parents don't have to be there. They're all covered by Parks and Rec. Police officer there, firemen are there. Everything's covered as far as safety, and the kids get to have some freedom during summer.
Right.
It's a great, I've witnessed a few of them over the last couple of years, and the children are having a blast. I do want you to know that I brought all your shirts. They're out in the truck, and I have shirts and hats for anybody who wants to buy them. I take cash or credit, and all that money is going back into the grant to develop more things for the two communities together. Any more questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
No planning and zoning, no general business. Comments by the general public. A period devoted to comments by the general public about matters relevant to the board's jurisdiction will be held. No vote may be taken on any matter not listed on the posted agenda. Comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Please step up to the speaker's podium if applicable. Clearly state your name and address, and please spell your last name for the record. If any member of the board wishes to extend the length of a presentation, this will be done by the chairperson or the board by majority vote.
Can I make a comment?
We can make them from the, yep.
Hello, I'm Jill Ramelot, R-A-M-E-L-O-T. I am here to tell you about River Fund. The Friends of River Fund Cancer Connection did a yard sale last month, and the community turned out in full force, and they raised over $2,000 for cancer people. And then they did an event at Sam's Club last Saturday. We don't have the funds yet, but that I'm here to tell you about. The last spring fundraiser for Friends of River Fund Cancer Connection is May 9th at Sam's Club from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. They sell all kinds of amazing jams and jellies and pickles, and the best part is that they talk to people about how they can get support. They had a lot of people who were dealing with cancer diagnosis and treatment that came up and learned about cancer support organizations and about how River Fund can help with that. This group has raised over $82,000 since 2028, over $10,000 a year, and they are like 8 to 14 people who are all affected by cancer themselves. They are amazing, and it's such a wonderful feeling to help them out. So I'm updating their website right now. You'll be able to order their gems and jellies, and they make stretch bracelets and stuff like this online soon. So I'll let you know, because you'll be able to just click and order it, and they'll deliver it. But the best chance right now is to get them on May 9th at Sam's Club. So thank you guys for all the support you've given. And I know I hooked Kathy up for her donation of furniture for their next yard sale. So anything you have that you want to donate for that, you can find more information at riverfundinc.com and just click on Friends of Riverfund Cancer Connection page.
Thank you.
This is the concerned citizen. I am thrilled that Cox will be coming to our community. However, their contractor for basically staking, call before you dig, was rather reckless with their spray painting. There is spray paint across our driveway, across our decorative rock. It's obnoxious, I'll say that much. And our driveway's ruined. It will forever have red spray paint all over it. So if you could make contact with them and just mention that they could be a little kinder with their spraying, or maybe stake things instead of spray painting the entire neighborhood, I'd appreciate that, because ours is now ruined. All our brand new beautiful streets are graffitied.
I'll follow up with you. And
Thanks.
yep.
And it's all over. It really is.
And thank you to the MVPs for working the concert crosswalk.
Anyone else? All right, our next meeting is May 12th, 2026 at 1:30, right here in this room. Need a motion for adjournment.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.